good, everybody? This is Chris. This is another episode of Chris Talks. So Chris Talks is basically less about specific ways to make money in cannabis and more about cannabis in general, like the consumer side of cannabis. So on this episode of Chris Talks, I wanted to talk about a pivotal person in the cannabis space for a lot of different reasons, and his name's George Jung. He unfortunately just passed away this morning. I thought it would be a good topic to do and to kind of especially help relate to this new generation, what he did and why it related to my generation so much. And it also kind of helped coach me along the way unknowingly through the cannabis space over the years. And there's a lot of good lessons to be learned, even from the movie or just from what he went through. I just basically want to give you a quick rundown. I know a lot of the younger generation may not even seen the movie Blow, where Johnny Depp played George Jung. In that movie, the condensed version of his life shows how he got his start in Massachusetts, moved out to California, started sending weed back there, got arrested for that, went to jail, and then met some people in jail that got him working with Pablo Escobar and started smuggling cocaine back in the 80s. I think even in the 70s too, the 70s and the 80s. He got caught again after he got all done with that. He got out and he was living in Dennis, which is in Massachusetts, where it was right down the street from where I grew up. He was selling weed in 1995, and the feds arrested him, and he went to jail until 2014. A lot of these, I'll call them pioneers because they kind of pioneered the industry for us. Now that we're out here conducting legal business, and we're not having to serve the same punishments as they were. Times changed.
In all honesty, I don't feel that what I've done is a crime. And I think it's illogical and irresponsible for you to sentence me to prison. Because when you think about it, what did I really do? I crossed an imaginary line with a bunch of plans.
What he went to jail for, lost 18, 19 years of his life. We're doing now is a structured, legal, licensed business. Paying taxes on it, paying employees. It's just night and day how the war on drugs created that era. He sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of years of his life for cannabis and smuggling cannabis. And there's a lot of other people too, not nearly as famous as him or even unknown, just people who lost in the wind. And they've served decades in jail, maybe even died in jail, maybe even died out being in the cannabis industry decades ago, whether it be from robbers, police, whatever. So there's a lot of sacrifices that have been made by a lot of people. And we just have to be aware of that and pay respect to it and understand that none of us would have these opportunities we have now if it wasn't for them. Unknowingly doing the right thing back then because they were just trying to get cannabis to the mass of people that wanted it. The people that wanted it, they weren't out there trying to go cause trouble or hurt people or rob people or anything. It was just literally a way to self-medicate. And in my opinion, even when people are doing it for profit, they're still helping people handle life the way they need to handle it. That being said, I don't want to glorify any of the bad things. I'm just really trying to highlight all the people that paid sacrifice. And so nowadays, what the industry tries to do to make up for that is they have social equity programs. There's certain qualifications in different states, but they all pretty much have some sort of social equity program, they call it. And that's where companies or the state is giving either equity in companies or free licenses or a combination of both to past nonviolent offenders in cannabis and other stipulations. So I do feel it's a great step to start to help them, but it doesn't nearly come close to paying back the debts that all these people paid in empty prison sentences, for decades, and even life sentences for less weed than an average business is selling today in a week or a month. I just wanted to do a video on that, put it out there, pay our respects to George, to the movie Blow. If you haven't seen it, go check it out and you'll have a better understanding. Yeah, just RIP George Jung, and I hope that anyone else that watched that movie and took something from it or learned something or helped change their lives, pay those respects, and let's hope that you can do it better than them, So anyway, that's all for today, and thanks for watching.